Well, the first thing, as I mentioned, is we are the gift, the ceremony, the celebration. The programmers want us to believe that we are a problem. They view us as dirty, dumb, disgusting humans, right? That is literally their philosophy. And so they create the problem paradigm. We are actually meant to live in the possibility paradigm, but in the problem paradigm, I'm a problem, you're a problem, my body's a problem, my thoughts are a problem. We start managing problems. And being a manager is not being the CEO of our life. So as long as we are busy, distracted, solving problems, we are not living in possibility. And I will just like to offer a caveat, because people will be hearing me say that and say, well, what about trauma? What about war? What about racism? What about various things? Racism is a systemic issue. That is what we are here to dismantle. There is no human left behind. We will not be able to anchor the new earth with a single human left behind. It will just be unacceptable. And we will want to remember our wisdom, that those peoples that carry the most amount of wisdom are the ones that are typically most oppressed by the controllers. So instead, ask the question, what is the wisdom that is held in that community that I am being purposely programmed to view that community as something other than magical? I will just say for ease,
Yeah.
And then trauma is also not a problem. Trauma is trauma. And so I like to be clear what I mean by problems. Here's what it means to live in neutrality. I go to the grocery store and someone doesn't hold the door open for me. In the problem paradigm, I say, oh, that person was being rude. How did they do that to me? Etc., etc. And then I go into the grocery store and someone bangs into me with the cart and I say, people are dumb, how we think as humans, you see. In neutrality, I say, that person did not hold the door open for me. Or I might even just say that person walked in the grocery store. I don't need them to hold the door open for me, you see? I'm not making meaning of their behaviors, because they might have just had a cancer diagnosis and the last priority for them is making sure that I like them as a complete stranger for having manners holding the door open. Maybe they bang into me with the cart and I say, oh, well, perhaps they just were served divorce papers, I don't assume that it has anything to do with me, because I am certain it has nothing to do with me.
Yeah.
But what will happen in the problem paradigm is we go home and we have to post it on Facebook and gather attention for how much of a victim we were made. We have to call all of our friends to talk about the problems that happened at the grocery store. What I mean by the problem paradigm is these are self-created snafus, I suppose I will say, that we want to keep alive, because we bond through problems. We bond through complaining, we bond through gossiping, etc. When we remember that every single human is here, no single human will be on this planet unless they are a vibrational match for this planet. We like to judge the people, oh, they're asleep, oh, they're low energy, oh, they're bad energy, oh, they're dark energy. Even the controllers are necessary for our growth. The issue is that they have overstepped our agreement that they have had with humanity. And that is why myself and many other great mothers will be coming back now to say, this is not what we agreed to. You must get back in line. But we need the dark.
Yeah. It's a part of the process.
Yes.
The darkness is there to help us see the light that is in us.
Yes. And there are many wonderful things that happen in the dark. Many foods grow in the dark.
Yeah.
Right?
It is there to help us to see better who we are.
Yes.
And again, it is our perspective as to how we look at the dark.
Yes.
What is the purpose? I remember I did a teaching the question was, what is the purpose for my pain? Because we all suffer pain to some degree.
Yes.
And I began to expound to them that the purpose of your pain is to open your eyes as to your health.
Yes.
That it's afforded there for you and you can obtain it, but you must change your perception on your pain and understand the purpose of your pain. And once we do, then we begin to move through things much faster. It is all our perspective. How do you look at the dark time in your life? Do you put it on Facebook and bond with your neighbor because you guys are suffering the same thing? Or are you willing to take the necessary steps to grow up, to become a mature human spirit, if you will, while you're here? And one of the things I also believe Mother Malia, that is the programmers have instilled in us is that judgmental perception of life,
Yeah.
like you were talking about going to the
Yes.
store and someone didn't open the door. That person may not even be there in the sense where they've just heard some information and they're coming out. And you know how humans get when we have these news and whatever. We're there, but we're not there.
Yes.
And she may open or he may open the door and not even knowing that you're there. And yet we could start a war with that individual based on that fact. And you said why? Because we have allowed that judgment to come in and become critical of our neighbors, of our friends, of our people, based on your feelings or your interpretation of what they did, and you have no data to prove any sense of what you're feeling, but yet you are able to condemn them and judge them from something that simple. And as you said, we rush to Facebook and stick it up there and start announcing our pain, if you will. And so
Yeah.
I mean, this has been such a wonderful, and thank you so much for coming and bringing that data to us as to who we are and our responsibility in the matter, if you will. And today, as you said, you came to alert us to, and I want to thank Jennifer for standing down, if you will.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I want to honor her for standing down to allow you to come and have an opportunity to speak with us. So I want to honor her as well for her obedience, if you will.
Yeah.
And I want to say thank you so much for coming to President Weidman. This has been a wonderful conversation.
Thank you so much. And yes, I am like this 24/7 now. So I really also had to go through the grieving process of my human parts, if you get what I mean. My
Yeah,
human stays around long enough to be the tether to take care of the more human things. Malia runs the show about 80% of the time. Yeah.
yeah, and that's why I wanted to stop and say thank you because I still
Yeah.
know that symbiotic relationship is there,
Yeah.
that exchange is there. So I wanted to thank you both for your willingness to allow each other to exist and
Oh,
to come and to share with us. And so, everyone that has been listening to us, I am going to provide all of the data, the information, the links. We're going to have everything for you to get into her space so that you can be assisted in and allow yourself the opportunity to find out who you are. Allow yourself the opportunity, the privilege.
yeah.
When you do that, it's taking some time out of your busy day. And it's okay. We understand why you're busy because you're plugged in. But if you want to come out for a little vacation, come out. I challenge you guys to get in touch with Mother Malia and begin to change your perspective, which will change your life, which will change your destiny. Thank you so much for coming to Brothers in Life.
Thank you so much for having me. It has been such a great honor.
Same as us. Thank you.